The following is a commercial program paid in part by advertisers. The opinions and views expressed belong to its sponsors and are not those of Nexstar Broadcasting Incorporated, this station, or their affiliates or employees.
Oh, there's something so real about living local, about the people and the places where we live. There's a pride around here that's been growing with the years, and I know without a doubt I'm not alone. Just look at all the reasons why we call this home. And I love living local. I count on you in the low country. Said I'm loving living local. It's the only kind of air I wanna breathe.
Good afternoon, and thank you so much for joining us for Living Local. I'm Ashley Meservy here with Rob Fowler, and we are live from Brittle Bank Park today.
And if you hear dogs barking all around, that's because we're right in front of the practice pool for the dock dogs. They've got the real competition going on behind, but it's been really fun to watch all the competitors, the competition, and everybody trying to get their dog to jump into the water. So.
I'm obsessed with it, y'all, because I'm telling you, Rob and I, every once in a while, will get just splashed with water, but then there's these other dogs who are like, I'd rather not.
I see what I need, but I'm going to stay up here on dry land.
And they'll make sure that the buoy or the toy will be closer to the dock, and the dogs are still like, not so much today.
I'll tell you what, I know the water's cold. The air temperature is probably in the mid-50s here, but the sun's trying to come out, Ashley, trying to come out, and it will, and we'll talk about the weather in just a few minutes.
Well, what we need to talk about right now, though, is I've been doing all of these outdoor segments. I'm telling you, Rob, I am obsessed with my job, especially right now, because I've been going all over the Low Country, just experiencing all that it has to offer. And I recently went out with Captain John Irwin. Now, let me tell you about this. When it comes to fly fishing, this is the expert on fly fishing, okay? Every person I asked, all of the local charter captains were like, I said, I want to go fly fishing. And they were like, Captain John Irwin is who you need to go with. So anyway, we went out and he told me, he said, Ashley, now you need to understand that a lot of times you need to practice on land before you do this.
Okay.
But I was like, I need to get out on a boat. I want to and of course it's like go big or go home, right?
That's right.
So anyway, I went out there and you just have to see this to believe it. I mean, it was a little difficult, but go ahead and check it out.
Been in Charleston for 20 years. We've had a family place at Kiowa and grew up fishing in the area, and you know, I've traveled all around the world fly fishing and ended up here in right about 2000.
So why fly fishing and not traditional fishing?
Well, I've always done all kinds of fishing, but fly fishing in my when I graduated from high school, I went to Montana when I was 18 years old, and that's where it really kind of, I had done a good bit before I went, and when I got there, that's when it really kind of took hold and the obsession took over.
So like, talk about like where it's brought you to this point.
You know, all the things that I dreamed of doing growing up, traveling places and seeing things. Fly fishing is such a travel destination type sport, and I love to get out there and go to new places and see new things. And it's just been, I can't believe I finally have ended up where I have and had the opportunity to travel to some of the most beautiful places and fish there. Fly fishing takes you to a lot of pretty places.
So where does Charleston stack up when it comes to some of the other really amazing places you've been?
Oh, that's a great question. A lot of people always ask, I get that a lot, where's your favorite place to fish? And this is my favorite place to fish.
And why is that?
It's the beauty of it and just what it brings and the way that I know it, you know, in certain ways, and the people that I spend a lot of time with here. I've been doing it long enough now where I'm always seems to be with the same people all the time. I don't fish with a lot of new people like I used to. I fish with a lot of the same folks day in and day out, so it's really awesome to get to enjoy that with them.
And so this is your gig, like this is your full-time deal, right?
Yes, yes. I built a lot of my business off of teaching, so I've been with a lot of beginners since day one that have been with me for a really long period of time, and all the way to people that are really experienced that I've met here. You know, Charleston has become such a melting pot, and so many people coming here for a variety of reasons, and the sport, the more and more it grows, I've met so many people coming here.
Kind of where do you see this going? I mean, let's say someone's watching this and they want to, are you taking people still on lessons? Or are you pretty busy?
Of course, absolutely. Last week I do a lot of individual one-on-one lessons, and then I also teach at Hatterall's Point Tackle in Mount Pleasant at Fin to Feather. We do a class this upcoming year. We're doing the classes quarterly, so basically about every 3 months you can contact Hatterall's. That class is 9 to 1. It's kind of a much more involved, not every last thing we serve you lunch, you kind of come all day, versus I do a lot of one-on-one, and the one-on-one stuff is more like about an hour at a time, because honestly, if you've never done it before and you're swinging the rod back and forth for an hour, it's pretty tiresome. It's like learning how to swing a golf club or a lot of different other kinds of sports, learning the fundamentals and progressing into actually going out and being good enough to catch fish. Usually about an hour at a time, as far as like just the casting element goes, is plenty.
So this is gonna be, I'm gonna look like a nightmare doing it.
You'll be surprised. All right, one more. Okay. Let's let that lay for a second. One thing that we need to make sure that we don't do is get things accomplished a lot with our wrist.
I know,
Go ahead
I'm
and
so
hold
bad
the
at
rod.
that
So right now we're getting the fundamentals accomplished, but we're doing it with our wrist. We want to get our forearm much more involved. So I'm going to cast with you one time. Let's just roll this out one time. All right, so here. Much better. All right, let's let this one fall in the water. Good.
Okay.
So it feels a lot different, right?
Yeah.
So that is one thing that we do tell people when we're teaching them is don't break your wrist.
Yeah. Like tennis though, I mean, like not using your wrist
sure.
a lot.
As far as instruction goes, something works a little bit different for everybody. Telling somebody to keep the rod tip in a straight line path. That's one thing, hold it just for a second, that we eliminate by keeping our wrist straight, because you can watch what happens when I break my wrist. Rod goes here, back down too low, and I start creating that arcing motion again, versus if I keep my wrist, nice straight wrist.
And you're not squeezing it either, right?
No, like you're holding a bird.
Baby.
That's right. That's right.
Like you're holding,
Don't put the death
holding
grip
a
on
baby bird.
A lot of times in class, you look down and hadn't gotten to the guy at the end, and he's going like that. He's got the death grip on it. So doesn't need to be anything too intense, but keeping your wrist nice and straight.
Okay, so Rob, when I say I was struggling, but I mean, you really have to, I mean, it's a love. Like, so what I kind of, the analogy I use is, fly fishing is to bow hunting is like regular reel fishing is to traditional hunting. Does that make sense?
All I know is if you look in the dictionary and look for low country girl, Ashley Meserve's name will be right there. And that, you can't get more low country than that.
Well, thanks, Rob. When you say that, it really means something. All right, so as far as, we're going to talk about weather more,
yes.
right?
Well, the sun's trying to come out, and that's kind of what we're looking forward to over the next several hours, that more sunshine. Temperatures eventually will warmer right here at Brittlebank Park on the Ashley River, so you got to expect that temperatures are going to be a little cooler with that wind coming in from the water, but we're hoping to get at least to the mid and upper 50s here at Brittlebank and lots of sunshine through. Now for tomorrow, it's going to be sunny, a cold start, and then a few more clouds on Sunday, but it will be warmer. Overall, Ashley, really, in this time in February, I don't know if you could ask for much better. It could be better, it could be worse, but I'll take what we got this weekend.
And speaking about better, I mean, he's looking fabulous today, guys. Don't you believe that?
Well, thank you.
All right, so Over Under Clothing is here. We have Brian Horn, and y'all are going to actually, talk Sewe fashion today.
We're going to talk fashion, and I don't know if I'm the best model, but
Rob,
I'm wearing the clothes,
it.
so I feel pretty good.
All right, well, more Living Locals coming your way, so stay tuned. We're going to be right back.
Beginning, how this all started, and
I can talk a lot.
yeah. So we'll talk. Once again, we're live here, living local over at Brindlebank Park, right by the Dock Dogs, and it is Southeastern Wildlife Expo, Sewe for short. And if you come to Sewe, you got to look the part. So I've got the man who helped us get dressed today with this wonderful over under clothing, and Brian Horn. Boy, I can't tell you how much I love this jacket, but how did this all get started? Back in Jacksonville, Florida, I guess.
Yeah, great question. I grew up as an Atlanta native. Went to University of Georgia. Was always, I guess, funny. You look back and you think, wasn't really kind of into clothes, and I guess it probably was. The brands back then were, when I was a young man, you had a Ralph Lauren shirt or Lacoste shirt, and we're what's considered a lifestyle brand clothing line. And really, didn't really exist. Really, who kind of blew it wide open was a company called Vineyard Vines. So I saw those companies, and I was a young man. I was about to hit 30 years old. The economy was in the tank, and I had a chocolate lab as my pride and joy. This is the first Sewe. She's not with us. She just passed. But she's been here for 8 or 9 years. She was the inspiration behind the logo and the name. And I had her, I trained her, I got into the wing shooting sports, but always liked finer apparel and wanted to make heritage items, heritage hand-me-down pieces that could adorn a Labrador logo on it. And that's kind of my thought process went, well, I'm young, I'm married, we have a little bit of savings, let's go ahead and roll the dice. And I knew really I had a vision, I knew what I wanted to do, but I guess I was just pretty stubborn and thought, let's do this. So I started making leather wallets, leather belts, polo shirts, jackets, hats, and it just really kind of grew from there. But that was almost 9-10 years ago now.
Well, I tell you what, so what am I wearing? This jacket feels great, it's warm, it's a little cool out here, but tell me what I'm wearing here
great
today.
question. You would, what you're wearing, I would say you look the Sewe part, right?
I feel Sewe.
Yeah, we came here years ago. It's cold, it's windy, it's a low country. You get the wind off the water. So actually, it was a project, about a year-long project. Those actually made in England, about an hour outside of London. So that's our men's wax briar jacket. So it's made really almost from field to town. You could wear it quail hunting. You can wear it to town. You can, it's a versatile piece, but it's made of all wax cotton, heavy flannel lining. But it's got a pretty cool piece in it where it has your name, and then a place for your son or your grandson or your granddaughter's name to be handed down to. So
that's nice. And I've got a shirt underneath. The shirt feels good. I got a lot of comments when I walked into our newsroom today before I came down here.
Yeah, that's our 3-season flannel. So we have what's called our Woodsman flannel. It's a nice, about a 6-ounce weight. We want to have things that you can wear not just during one season. So it's one of our best category called the Woodsman flannel. So these are all made in California, as a matter of fact.
And you're looking pretty dapper yourself.
Yeah, I'm in and, you know, Sewe, you see a lot of camo. What's come back is we call this the old duck camo pattern. It's actually our own custom pattern we made. You saw these back from World War II, and your granddad's generation had a lot of this style of stuff. So it's all cyclical, right? All things come back. So this is our brand new pattern for really a next fall release. But Sewe's a great place to kind of showcase some of our newer products, our new line, get feedback, see our customers, and kind of drum up a little pre-release for the new stuff. Yeah.
Okay, over under. You guys are here at Sewe. Tell us if people don't get a chance to come down here and see you in person, how can they find your stuff?
Yeah, definitely come check us out. When you come in the front gates of Brittle Bank, you cannot miss us. We've actually got some good friends of ours called Bird Buggy. We've custom built a nice quail hunting buggy. It's got you'll see the door with the over-under stuff all over it. So once you see the nice bird buggy with over-under camo seats, take a right, and you'll see an old 1977 classic Airstream trailer. Between that and 3 or 4 tents full of gear. We do a lot of heritage items. American made is a big key focus for us. So literally, Brittle Bank Park, take a right, you can't miss us.
And it's Valentine's Day, good present for both genders.
Great, we have, everybody says, what all do you make? I'm like, well, we have a 75-page catalog full of gear. So we've got braces for ladies, we've got lots of tote bags and handbags. They're all built here in South Carolina. And we have, jackets, belts, wallets, gun cases, dog beds, dog collars. I always say for 2-legged and 4-legged friends, we've got you covered. So.
Well, Brian, thank you very much, my friend.
Sure.
I appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you for having us.
Over under from Jacksonville, Florida. They're here at Sewe. Come and do some shopping and look the part. And we've got more Living Local coming up next. I think we're going to talk to Jack Hanna. Josh Marthers will do that. And a look at the weather. Come back and join us live here, Brittle Bank Park, Southeastern Wildlife Expo.
Welcome back to Living Local. We're live from Brittlebank Park. Obviously, Rob Fowler is here with me today, and I'm just telling you, I cannot hide my excitement. We're here at where the dock dogs are.
That's right. I just got wet again, but that's
I know,
okay.
It's so awesome. I feel like I should be like, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, our next dog up for it. I mean, it's so much exciting. Okay, so even more exciting, whenever Josh Marthers is in the mix, pretty much.
There's usually food or weather.
Yes, exactly. But this time he's hanging out with Jack Hanna.
Oh, that's pretty good too.
All right, let's see what he's getting into.
Hey guys, we're at the Gilliard Center with the man Jack Hanna, who's back with us again this year. It's been a couple of years, Jack. Always good to see you, buddy. And nice to see you, Susie. This is Susie Rapp with the Columbus Zoo. And we have a very special guest with us, too, a 5-year-old cheetah. Now, Jack, she's going to be part of your show. This is Misi.
Yeah, she is. And Susie's the one that brought this up from a baby cheetah. A lot of people know the cheetah is one of the fastest land mammal in the world. I think at 70 miles an hour or something like that?
They can reach 70 miles per hour. And the cool thing is they can reach that in 0 to 4 seconds. I don't even think a race car can do that.
Yeah, it's amazing to watch it. Like Susie said, when I'm out there filming in wild, to see that thing, it's like a bullet. But the thing about the cheetah is it's a weak cat from the standpoint, if you see the lions, tigers, what they happen, they go for anything on the back. But this animal here has to grab the other animal here. And that's the way the animal makes its hit. And look at the eyes, see that? Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
That's like so they can look in direct sunlight.
They can. And so the other cool thing about the cheetah, one of the reasons they are so fast, if you look at their feet, I don't know if the camera can get on the foot, their foot is more like a dog's foot.
I was noticing that.
Yeah, the only cat that does not have retractable claws. And what a lot of people don't realize, the cheetah is in a ton of trouble in Africa. There are only 7,000 cheetahs. We thought about 3 years ago there were more than that.
Yep.
And when we actually did a count, it was roughly around 7,000 cheetahs. And the sad part of that is cheetahs have a 95% infant mortality rate. So 95% of all cheetah cubs born in the wild will not reach 1 year of age.
Yeah, it's not a matter of poaching like it used to be. It's because they used to use a coach, but that's mainly been stopped. But like she just said, there's other issues.
There's, they're not poaching them, but they are capturing the cubs, and they're sending them to the Middle East, and that's been a big problem. So lots of problems for this cat. And the Columbus Zoo and Jack Hanna, we do tons of conservation. We've raised over $1 million with our ambassador cheetahs, educating people like we're going to be doing today here at Sewe, and really hope to get people behind the cheetah to help them.
Yeah, if you look at that tail, look at that tail a second. When that cat's moving at that kind of speed you just said, that thing looks like a boat with. It's like this.
It's like
that helps turn it.
Oh, okay.
If you look at the tail, it's flat,
unlike
any other cat, which is round. And her tail is more flat like this. So
it's
when
amazing.
she is going 70 miles per hour after a kill, she's and has to make a turn, she's gonna take that tail, and it will just guide her and help her turn around.
That's pretty cool.
Pretty amazing animal.
One of the things that we noticed here, Spencer, our photographer, noticed too, it's like a big house cat, and there was something you were pointing out too.
A lot of people don't realize these guys are purring cats. So they're really considered a lesser cat, and if I put the mic up, you might be able to hear her.
What to do.
I think you might be able to.
Why don't you run down that hallway right there? Let's see what happens.
That is so cool. Yeah, Jack, I'm not going to run away from it. It is so great to see you guys. Jack, always a pleasure. Susie, very nice to meet you. You can come hang out with these guys today and Saturday at the Southeastern Wildlife Expo here at the Gilliard Center. I'm Josh Marthers. Count on 2.
I was just about to say my hat's about to fly off really quick. All of a sudden, a big gust of wind. Okay, so what I want to say is what I've learned as I travel through the Low Country. You've got people like Yeti, all these different organizations, and even like retailers who are really committed to conservation. And I think that that's one thing you can say about Jack Hanna is he's all about investing in these animals and making sure that they are here for generations to come.
And I think the generations is so important, from kids to those in senior citizens like myself,
Oh, Rob.
Well, you just love it. And he's brought so much joy and taught us so much about animals, wildlife here, not just in the country, but in the world.
And I actually had some time to sit down with Jack Hanna a year or so ago, and I will tell you that it says something about South Carolina and Charleston in particular, the fact that he's making his way down here
He
specifically.
loves Charleston.
you know,
Loves
especially
Charleston.
with everything going on around the world that he's involved in, that he makes time to carve out to come to Sewe each year.
And I'm sure he loves Charleston because of our weather.
Exactly.
How beautiful is it going to be later on once we get the sun back out, and we will, and temperatures eventually will warm into the mid and upper 50s as we get into the afternoon. Tomorrow looks like a sunny day, and then a few more clouds on Sunday, but really not a bad weekend for Sewe. Don't let the weather stop you from coming down.
All righty, well, still more to come, so stay tuned. Living Local will be right back. Welcome back. We're Living Local live from Brittlebank Park, and I just have to tell you, like, not only is this going to be an awesome Valentine's Day, but just an awesome weekend altogether.
Well, I just saw something I'd never seen before. One of the dogs jumping in with a GoPro, so I guess they'll be able to save that video of actually jumping in. But so much going on this weekend at Sewe, Ashley.
And it looks like it's going to shape up to be a beautiful weekend as well.
Yeah, a lot more sunshine tomorrow, more sunshine later today, a few more clouds on Sunday, but temperatures will be nice and comfortable. We can handle this.
Well, Rob, thank you so much for coming out, and you need to stay tuned because coming up later on today, of course, the news will be out here as well. I think Brendan Clark's going to be.
It's a big weekend, Sewe weekend in Charleston.
All right, thanks for joining us. I hope you have a wonderful Valentine's Day and even better weekend.